Hello lovelies, welcome to my channel. My name is Esther. If you're seeing this channel for the first time, please do well to subscribe. Click on the notification bell to be notified each time I drop video. So in this video I'll be showing you how to cut this beautiful gown. So cut out the gown. We'll be cutting out the flare, which is the downside first. So how do you cut your flare? So minus your half length from the full gown measurement. Okay, so and divide your waist by 3.26. So whatever you have, you use it and cut the flare. So in this case, I've divided the waist measurement by 3.26. So, but before you divide it, you have to add 1.5 inch sewing for a zipper allowance. Okay. So after that, you divide it by 3.28. So whatever you have, you use it and get the flare. So in this case, I divided the measurement. So what I got was 8 inches in total, because I added excess so that I will pleat it inside so it will be more fuller. So that 8 inches I got. Okay, so what you will do is to fold the fabric into two and fold it again in a triangular form. I hope you understand it. Hope you see it how I did it. So I'll be marking that 8 inches from the upper part. I'll place my tape on that triangular side and mark 8 inches around. Okay, and connect it. So after marking it, then I will start marking the length of the downside, the flare. Okay, you place your tape from that 8 inches, the place that you mark that 8 inches, and also mark it round. Okay, to get, you know how flare used to be round. Okay, so this is how to get your flare. All right, so you keep marking the full length of the flare round. All right, so after marking it, you connect it like this. Cutting of flare is very simple. So after marking it like this, then you just go ahead and cut it out. You cut out the upper side first, which is the waist part of it. Okay, so like I said before, I added excess to this waist. It's actually a baby gown. I added excess so that I'll be able to pleat it so that the flare will be more fuller. Okay, so I've cut out the upper side, so I'll be going ahead to cut the down side. So this is basically our flare. It is very simple. Okay, to cut. So the next thing we are going to cut right now is to go ahead and cut the upper part. So just fold your fabric into two. So we'll be cutting the back and the front separately. So just go ahead and fold your fabric into two to the desired length that you want and the width that you want. Okay, so what we are going to do is to measure. Like I said, the half length I'm working with is 12 inches. So I added 2 inch for sewing allowance, so which is 14 inches. So I mark 14 inches. Okay, so from that upper side will now serve as a shoulder line. All right, so now, so the shoulder I'm working with, I divided the shoulder I'm working with by 2. Okay, the shoulder I'm working with is 12 divided by 2 is 6 inches. So I mark 6 inches. All right, so I will place my tape like so and also go down and mark shoulder to chest line. Okay, so the chest line I'm working with is also 6 inches. Okay, so that shoulder divided by 2 that I mark on the chest line, I will also come down and mark it on the chest line. So I mark shoulder divided by 2 on the shoulder line and also mark it on the chest line. So I connected the line like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark my design neckline. The design neckline I'm working with is 3 inches by width, 3 inches for the front depth. So I will mark in 1 inch, 1.5 inch for the back depth. Okay, so on the shoulder I will come down by ½ inch. Okay, I come down by ½ inch because this is actually a child, like a child. Okay, for if he's an adult, you can come down by 1 inch because for the shoulder slant. So I come down by ½ inch for the shoulder slant and also divide whatever I have on that armhole line into 2 and mark it. So what I'll be doing now is to go ahead and divide the bust measurement. Around bust measurement, I divided it into 4 and mark it and add sewing allowance. You can add 1.5 inch sewing allowance or you can add 2 inch. So I added 1.5 inch because this is going to have a lining. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is to divide a waist measurement. Also divide a waist measurement and mark it and add sewing allowance as well. As you all know, children doesn't really have much shape like that. Okay, so their bust and their waist is is always mostly the same. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is to connect that bust measurement to that line that you mark. You divided, like, remember I divided the armhole line by 2, so I connected that middle line that I divided into 2 to the bust to form the armhole curve. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut it out. So I'll be cutting out the back depth neckline, which is 1.5 inch, like you see me doing. So I'm done cutting the front part. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to keep this one aside and fold my fabric into 2 again. Okay, so I'll be folding my fabric into 2 to cut out the back parts. Okay, so as you're folding the back pattern, okay, make sure you have extra 2 inches to 3 inches extra from what you have on the front. All right, because this is to be able to form out, get the zipper allowance. So what I'm going to do is to mark 1.5 inch. So I'm actually using 1.5 inch for this zipper allowance. Okay, so why I'm using 1.5 inches, because this has lining. Okay, so if it doesn't have lining, I'll be making use of 1 inch. Okay, so I'll connect the zipper allowance like so and place the front that I have cut already on the line that I mark. Like the line that I mark, the zipper allowance, it should not cross that zipper allowance, because that is actually zipper allowance. So the cut of the back part of this upper side is the same thing, just the different is the zipper allowance. Okay, the different is the zipper allowance. You just trim it out. Okay, so after trimming it out, you remove, so I remove the back part to be able to trim out the front depth neckline. Okay, like I said, I use 3 inches for the front depth, and I use 1.5 inch for the back depth, and I use 3 inches for the width of the neck. Okay, so this is the front of it. Okay, so I'll be going ahead to use this and trim, cut out the linings that I'll be using to turn the dress. Okay, so also remember it has a design on the front, which I use organza to do that design. So I used organza to achieve the design, the pleated design on the front. So I'll also be showing you guys how to achieve that. All right, so I'll be using the all the pieces I've cut apart from the flay, because I will not be cutting flay on the lining. I'll be pleating it. I will just cut it straight and pleat it, because I don't have much lining that I can use and cut flay. You all know that flay used to consume a lot of material. So what I'll be doing right now is to cut out 2 inch on fold, 2 inch on fold. Then I will use it and pleat on this like V into 2 of it. So let me do that and bring it. So I'm done pleating this. Sorry guys, I didn't show you the process of pleating this. So I'm done pleating it, and I've also torn the upper part and the back part. So what I'll be doing right now is to place each other. Place the back part on the front part, place the back part on the front part, and shape the two side. Okay, shape the two side using the measurement you're working with, and also join the shoulder. So let me do that and bring it back for you guys to see. Okay, so guys, I'm done joining the both the front and the back together. Can you see how neat it is looking? I've also joined the shoulder, because you can see that the one of the shoulder is not well closed, because I want to pleat a material on it. Like I want to do a little bit design on one of the hand. All right, so can you see how neat it's looking? So what I'll be doing is to fold the waist into 2 and notch the midpoint. Okay, get the midpoint and also open up the flay that you cut and notch the midpoint as well. All right, so notch the midpoint. So after notching the midpoint, what you're going to do next is to place it on each other, making sure that the midpoint of the upper part is the same on the downside, and take it to your machine and sew it, join it. Okay, so after that I will cut out the lining and pleat on it. Like I said, I didn't have enough lining to cut flay, so I'm pleat on it. So I'll be going ahead to do that right now. All right, so I'm done joining it. Okay guys, I'm done joining it. the upper part to the downside. Can you see how neat it's looking? So I'll be going ahead to cut out the lining. Like I said, I will divide, I'll measure what I have on the waist and maybe times it into 3 and use it and cut a straight lining and pleat it inside. You can cut more and pleat it inside so that it will be very full. So I'll do that and join this side and also attach my zip. All right, and bring it back and show you guys the final result. So here is the final result of the gown. Guys, you can't imagine how beautiful this gown is looking, and we made like 5 of it.